Hi, my name is Jessica Booker, and I will be doing a video synopsis on Chapter 7 from Wardlaw's Contemporary Nutrition book, the ninth edition. In the beginning of this chapter, it goes over positive and negative energy balances, along with energy and energy input and output. If you stay at a healthy body weight, you increase your chances of living a long and healthy life. A fact from the book is there is currently 68% of all North American adults that are overweight and are about 50% of them are obese. There is no quick cure for being overweight, despite what advertisements say. They do a lot of promoting of pills, fad diets, and liposuctions. If you want to have a successful and healthy weight loss, then being committed to a hard and healthy diet is the way to go to help you with your progress. This chapter also talks about the determination of energy use by the body. There are ways to measure the amount of body heat released by a person, which is known as direct calorimetry, and the amount of oxygen a person consumes, which is also known as indirect calorimetry. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but the amount of energy a body uses can be measured by those two things based on weight, height, age, and physical activity, and your degree of physical activity. I think physical activity is very important to living a healthier life. Physical activity or exercise can improve your health and reduce the risk of developing several diseases like type 2 diabetes, cancer, and cardiovascular disease. It can also have the immediate and long-term health benefits. Most importantly, regular activity can improve your quality of life. This chapter also goes over the estimation of a healthy weight. There are plenty of ways to determine what the healthy weight or ideal weight should be. For the past 50 years, weight for height tables have been the typical way to find your healthy weight. Tables like these are typically organized by gender and frame size. Body mass index, or BMI, is the preferred weight for height standard due to its clinical measurement most closely related to body fat content. I think BMI charts give a general understanding of a person's well-being, but I don't think it's the most efficient way. I think it doesn't take into account for your muscle mass or your body fat percentage. I think athletes have it harder, or it would be harder to read than a person that isn't an athlete. Besides that, putting your healthy weight into perspective is important. Listening to what your body wants by listening to hunger cues, regulating a healthy diet, and remaining physically active will all eventually help maintain an appropriate weight value. This chapter also talks about why some people are obese, nature versus nurture. With the genetic factor being nature and the environmental factor being nurture, both genetic and environmental factors can increase the risk for obesity. How does nature contribute to obesity? Studies in pairs of identical twins show insight to the nature portion. Even though the two have been raised apart, they show similar weight gain patterns, both in overall weight and body fat distribution. Nurture has less to do with obesity than nature does. According to the book, from Section 5, genes account for up to 70% of weight differences between people. A child with no obese parent has a 10% chance of becoming obese, when a child with one obese parent has a 40% chance, and a child with two obese parents has an 80% chance of obesity. Our genes help determine metabolic rate, fuel use, and differences in brain chemistry, all of which affect body weight. How does nurture have a role? Adult obesity in women is often rooted in childhood obesity. With the addition of inactivity, periods of stress or boredom, and excess weight gain during pregnancy can all contribute to female obesity. For males, it's much different. Childhood obesity isn't much of a factor. It appears more after the age of 30 for them. The treatment of overweight and obesity is another topic in Chapter 7. Treatment of obesity should be a long-term process rather than a quick fix promoted by fad diets. A fad diet is typically only temporary, which is why so many people regain the weight that they had already lost. An emphasis on healthy, active living with dietary modifications will hopefully promote weight loss and weight maintenance. Control of calorie intake, regular physical activity, behavior modifications, professional help for weight loss, and treatment of underweight are all topics as well that were discussed in Chapter 7. That's my summary for Chapter 7. It wasn't very impressive, but thank you for watching and listening.